if you've banned Russia, if you've already banned Russia, politics is always going to play something in sport. So what we're saying is why has Iran not been banned, and why are we still in business with a terrorist regime? It's a very simple thing we're saying.
Bit of breaking news to bring you. Gareth Southgate has confirmed that he and his players will take the knee ahead of their opening game tomorrow against Iran in Qatar. Now, we know that anybody who is sort of sentient at the moment is following what's happening in Iran. Absolutely horrific scenes where people are being very much oppressed. So all eyes are going to be on this football match tomorrow. And the Iranian-British comedian Omid Djalili has been really vocal on Twitter. He's been sharing his thoughts ahead of this incredibly important moment in football. And he's done this great video on Twitter. Do follow him on Twitter. Have a look at what he said. We'll play you a wee clip and then Omid's going to be joining us.
Because of what's happening in Iran right now. They're protesting against gender apartheid. We should stop seeing Iran as a sovereign state like France or Germany. Iran is a terrorist state, suppressing women. Women aren't allowed to go to football matches. They should have been thrown out the World Cup. They break every FIFA statute against anti-discrimination. Even Iran is giving missiles and drones to Russia right now. And people saying the World Cup shouldn't be political. Well, we banned Russia, haven't we?
And Omid Djalili joins us now. Omid, welcome.
Thank you, Aisha. I really appreciate you shining a light on this, because it's clear that a lot of people still, the penny hasn't dropped. They don't understand the global significance of what's happening in Iran. They just think it's a bunch of brown people causing a fuss and that we should feel sorry for them. But actually, it's the first ever women and girls revolution in the history of humanity. And if we don't get behind them, then really shame on us.
And you've done a brilliant job using your platform on social media to, you shining a light on it, but also you're explaining what's happening to people in a way which is, like, incredibly accessible, and you're making it a very real issue for people. And tell us about the football element of it. Tomorrow, England playing Iran. What are your thoughts on that? What's your reaction to this news that Gareth Southgate and the team are going to take the knee? I mean, is that relevant for this match against Iran?
Well, let's be really clear about one thing. England versus Iran right now at the World Cup is much more than just a football match. There's no question of that. And it's a real once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make a global difference with small gestures. Now, I can tell you right now, because the Iran team, maybe under duress, have had a meeting with their superiors, Raisi, who's the leader there, they call him the butcher, who's already killed 5,000 people in 1988. They're talking about possibly killing as many of those 15,000 people in prison right now. So this is a murderous regime, and there's a once in a lifetime opportunity to make some kind of gesture. Now, we all know this England team, for want of a better word, are very socially active, and they've been taking the knee even when they had a lot of criticism. But right now, when I first heard that Gareth Southgate we're going to take the knee for anti-racism and inclusivity. And by the way, Iranian players want to take the knee as well. So you'll see two teams, England and Iran, all taking the knee together. Now, the first reaction as an Iranian fan, and by the way, because the Iranian team have now sided with the regime, it's very clear that they do not represent the Iranian people.
Right.
99% of all the people in Iran do not agree with this regime. So if this team is representing them, they do not represent the people. So they are all for England. They want England not only to win, and they want England to win handsomely. That's what they want. So you've got 87 people who are on England's side, and they're just hoping for a small gesture. Now, what I've suggested is the scrunch and snip, which is what the Iranian beach soccer footballer did. When Iran won the beach soccer tournament, they beat Brazil, and the guy who scored the winning goal did this little sign, which the women in Iran said, wow, he is seeing us, because Mahsa Amini, the 22-year-old girl was killed for showing a bit of her hair. So women all around the world have been cutting their hair. So that was Iran players showing support for the women. And if an England player does that, it would be huge. Now, to take the knee is so incredibly tone deaf. It's incredibly irrelevant that I can only assume, and I'm saying this very seriously, Aisha, I can only assume that Gareth Southgate's tweet today is a publicity stunt and they will do something different. Because if that's what they do, then they've missed the boat completely and they've misunderstood the whole issue, and they will lose support from not just Iran, but around the globe. The whole world is watching this. The whole world knows what's going on in Iran. And England, and by the way, people hate England because of Brexit. They hate us already in Europe. Here's one chance for people to see that actually we care. And if we just take the knee, and if we say it's for inclusivity, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it for England. No one is going to be behind the England team at all.
It sort of feels like the taking the knee thing for them has maybe become a sort of generic catch-all. But what you are describing is something incredibly specific and very moving, because this young girl was killed for just exposing a few strands of hair, and that sparked this revolution. Just explain to my listeners exactly what you mean by scrunch and snip.
Mahsa Amini was wearing a hijab, and she was taken in by morality police forcibly because she said, "What are you doing? I'm wearing my hijab because you're showing a bit of your hair." So when she was beaten up, she was beaten to death in captivity. So women around the world, politicians, activists, in solidarity with the women of Iran, they're cutting their hair. They're literally grabbing a bit of the hair and cutting it, which means who cares about hair? A human life is more important. So that's the way they're showing support for the women of Iran. And when the Iranian beach soccer player did this, it was huge because he's now under house arrest. The Iranian team, that beach soccer team, didn't even sing the national anthem. So they're clearly with the people. So they're all under house arrest. And now the Iranian national football team they're in Qatar right now. They just had a press conference, and the players' representative said, "We'd like to start off by saying we're very sorry to all the families who've lost people. We are with you." But today we had a little friendly, and it went really well, and the team's really bonded, and they start talking about football. Nobody cares about the football, really. I mean, sure, if they're with the people, we'd support them, but they very clearly are not playing for the people. So everyone is looking to England now. So yeah, exactly. The whole anti-racism thing is totally irrelevant.
And Omid, look, there might be some people listening to this saying, look, we are absolutely against this murderous, tyrannous regime in Iran. But does everything have to be political in football? Can't we just let our boys... I mean, some people won't even like the whole taking the knee thing, and there'll be all kinds of drama about that. What do you say to people who will be saying, oh, can we just not get on with the football and leave the politics?
Well, what I say to them is this team who... If it wasn't for them, look, they're already wearing the rainbow colours. They're already speaking out for Harry Kane came out very clearly and saying gay people are absolutely welcome at Wembley Stadium. The fact that even in 2021, 2022, we even had to say that is crazy. But this is more than a football game. This is huge. The whole world is watching this game. And if it wasn't for the England team all being pretty evolved, they're an evolved group of people. Yeah. And they want to do something. They said, don't look at us as a bunch of millionaire footballers. We care. And sure, we've been thinking about this game. Sure, we want to do well at the World Cup. But this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to show that we're good people and we care. And actually, Britain is one of the few countries that has not expelled ambassadors. They've not got involved with this. And I think if you've banned Russia, if you've already banned Russia, politics is always going to play something in sport. So what we're saying is why has Iran not been banned, and why are we still in business with a terrorist regime? It's a very simple thing we're saying. And of course, we love I'm a big football fan. I can't wait for the football. But to say that football and politics are not hand in hand is just completely missing the point.
Well, Omid, look, you've spoken with such clarity and such passion about this issue, and I think so many people are really grateful to you for shining a light on this